Okay, no job number yet to this. This is a Target out in Lacey. This is off of Sleater Kinney Road. I'm bidding this job to Kansas Asphalt. I think I'll be bidding it to some other competitors as well. Maybe Let's Pave, US Pavement, a couple others. I know that there are some other people bidding on this. The Kansas Asphalt's had some success. Last year they got to do, I think, 50 different Target stores. And so this year they're hoping to achieve the same thing. So they're letting us bid on 3 of them over here in Western Washington. This one in Lacey is a pretty good job. You can see all the dark areas in gray are asphalt repairs. There's going to be striping involved. There's going to be crack fill. I think there's some maybe joint seal. We'll look here at the bid form here in a second. They have a huge parking lot, so it doesn't matter too much what's on each side of their stores, but I will say there's a Kohl's right here. Over to the right of Target up in this area, you've got a Verizon store, a CVS pharmacy, a couple things like that, but this is a huge parking lot. So for staging, lots of staging available back in this area. This is where I'm parked right now, is out in this spot. I want to talk about the asphalt restoration first. Like the other bids I was looking at, they gave the exact patch locations. They numbered them off just like we do. A1 through A21. 4-inch depth asphalt. Remove and replace. They give exact dimensions, and they're all in square foot, but when we go to fill out their bid form, we need to do it in square yards. So we'll bid the asphalt just like we normally do. We'll take the price that we have, and we'll use that, and then what we'll do is we will take the total price, and we will, well, first of all, we'll take the square footage and convert it into square yards, and then we'll take the total price that we came up with and divide it by the square yards so that we can come up with a per square yard price. The dimensions that are on here, we want to do these patch dimensions. Everybody else is bidding it according to this, so we'll be apples to apples, and if we win the job, we need to make sure that we cut this size patch. For instance, the 20 by 140. We don't want to look at it and go, oh, it looks like it's really only 20 by 70 that we need to do. Whatever we don't do, the difference on this, whatever we don't do, Target's going to want the money back for. So we want to make sure we cut the exact patches on here. If for some reason we have to go larger than that, then that's when we get a hold of them and do just like we always do and get approval on the extra tonnage. You'll see that where it says B01 and B02, that's asphalt removal, but at a 6-inch depth. So all the locations that you see, they are marked in dark gray. That also includes the back parking lot back here. So this back section of parking behind Target, we're going to have to also stripe back here. So I will come up with all the striping quantities, and all the asphalt quantities are already given. You'll see on this table that the blue section is your asphalt. Then you've got concrete joint seal application at around 3,800. Then you've got a couple other things here too. So this isn't coming in very clear. There we go. It talks about multiple areas basically on here where you've got repairs to do. This area that's in the red, this is called a drive-up parking. There's certain stencils that need to be used here, so we need to plug into our bid $2,300 to pay for the stencils that are needed. It's a lot of red paint and white paint, so we'll have to make sure we have at least a 5-gallon bucket of paint for the red that goes in their drive-up stall area. Okay. These yellow coated areas, it says this is where you will notice concrete joint seal. There's also concrete joint seal all along the front of the Target store. So we just have to fill the joints in between the concrete panels. All right, so let's take a look at the bid form that we need to follow. 34,800 lineal feet of asphalt crack fill. There's not 34,800 feet out here, but that's the number they gave us to bid from, so we're going to use that. They just went by a percentage. So if we win this job, we'll end up having to come out here and get a better idea of how much crack fill we really need. Pavement marking application. It says 29,950 square yards. We obviously don't bid by square yards, so I'm going to take all the striping. We'll bid it into our bid package, and whatever the total is that we come up with on the striping, we'll take that total, divide it by 29,950 square yards, so that we can have a unit price plugged in there. Okay. Concrete joint seal application. It says 4,820 lineal feet. Go off of what the bid form says. I think the other page on the site plan showed less footage. So let's go with the 4,820. There's your asphalt 4-inch depth, 6-inch depth. Okay, it's in square yards like I mentioned earlier. So we need to take our total asphalt price at 4 inches and at 6 inches, and we need to divide it by the square yards to come up with a unit price. Okay, total tonnage, bid to be based on, this tonnage, 523 tons. Okay, striping based on 2 coats of paint. So we need to do 2 coats of paint on the striping. This bid here in Lacey is a little bit easier than the one that was in Bonnie Lake, or actually the one that was in Lakewood. This one's a little bit easier because there's no drain repairs, no lids to replace. It's just straight up asphalt repair, crack fill, and concrete repairs. It's raining right now, as you can see, real nasty, but I'm out in front of the Target store right now. There's not much to really show you. I mean, it's a decent looking parking lot, and if I could show you one repair, I guess I could. I'm parked really close to this repair right here, so I'm going to take you over to this one, which is patch number I think it's A15. I'm gonna wait for that thing to zoom in here. There we go. Yeah, A15. So patch A15 is, it's a 10 by 10. So that's the area. If you got the Target store, you've got this last planter back here. This is where they're saying there's a 10 by 10 repair to be done. So let's take a look and see what they're talking about. I mean, I see a small area there that might have some dips in it. Okay, so there's some tree root damage here, so I can kind of see what they're talking about. So they're just saying remove this whole area. So one thing to know about some of these repairs is that there is going to be some tree root damage. You know, I see some tree root damage right here in this stall, but it wasn't called out, I don't think, on the actual plan. You've got a Starbucks over there, and you've got this other store that's over here, and I know that there's a bunch of repairs right over in that drive aisle that we'll have to take care of. Okay, so from where I was standing there looking at that patch, here's another one that's next to this planter, A14. A14 is, it's a 9 by 24. Yeah, 9 by 24. So that means they're saying, it doesn't make much sense, but they're saying the repair's right there. I'm sorry, it's at the second planter. That's why it didn't make sense. First planter, second planter. It's saying to go all the way across the drive aisle. So this does make sense because there's a catch basin here, and then you got cracking right here. So they're saying to do a 9 by 24. So that means it's going to be approximately from there all the way over to here and all the way across. So that seems legit on the size there. Some of them might not match up exactly that way, but we need to do exactly the patch size that they give us, okay? So it's pretty busy here, as you can see. Sears, Verizon, CVS, Kohl's, and then I can't see what's on this side here. Oh, it's a bank. It's a Bank of America over there. So, I mean, it's, as you get over there and do some of those repairs, it's going to be a little bit trickier because we got different stores that we're being, that we're working in front of that'll probably cause some issues. But they're big enough patches and there's enough work out here that they'll be done in phases. So we'll just have to coordinate if we get this work. Okay, so I'll have all the quantities plugged in. This bid form is nice. The site plan is nice because it really shows the details on the asphalt repair, and that's the biggest concern. The striping's pretty easy. There'll need to be some there'll have to be some power washing and things like that probably to have to do. I don't know, actually not power washing, but we'll have to use a snuffy in some areas in order to get the stall striping to look clear. So anyways, I was just looking at this weird guy. Anyways, so yeah, well, I'll put some notes in there to use the snuffy out here in order to clean up some of these mossy areas that you see where there's stall striping. That way we know the striping is going to stick. Okay, trying to get this stuff out by Thursday, and the work needs to be completed by November 1st.